I will try to encourage Imo State within the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Our aim is to build a mini Nigeria in Imo State.
President Buhari inaugurates development projects in Imo State, lauds Governor Uzodima's focus on people-oriented ventures.
The Igbos stand to benefit more than anybody because they are more enterprising.
Be hopeful and expectant. President Buhari enjoins Southeast leaders, promises a more united Nigeria. Nigeria maintains firm stance against coup d'etat in West Africa region, proposes more sanctions against Guinean coup leaders.
The Livestock transformation plan will be a priority due to its implication, not just on food security and nutrition, but its overall impact in curbing insecurity in the country.
Plus, federal government affirms mandate on balancing food security and national unity. This is NTA Network News. We're live in Abuja. I'm Ian Ray John. Hingino John Adams joins us from Lagos. Thank you for joining us. President Muhammadu Buhari has described the pragmatic implementation of the reconstruction, rehabilitation and recovery agenda in Imo State as a critical pathway towards advancing the Eastern Heartland to the next level of socio-economic development. The president stated this while inaugurating several landmark projects executed by the Hope Uzodima administration. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
It was a befitting reception for President Muhammadu Buhari on arrival at the Sam Mbakwe International Cargo Airport, Owerri, on his first visit to the southeast since the renewal of his mandate in 2019. Host Governor Hope Uzodima of Imo State and the chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum and Governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, were at the head of the welcoming party.
It shows you that the president has an affinity for the southeast, just as he has for the rest of the country. And of course, we should never forget that he is also an Igbo chief. See how it turned out. His attire complete with cap and the elephant tusk. He has many titles from different parts of the east. It's good for our country, it's good for national unity, it's good for cohesion. And if anybody has had any doubts, if President Buhari discriminates against any part of the country, this should lay it to rest.
During the visit, several critical infrastructure projects executed by the Hope Uzodima administration in response to the needs and aspirations of Imolites were inaugurated by President Muhammadu Buhari. These include the Naze, Nekede, Ihagu Link Road, balloon-driven flood control tunnel at Dick Tiger Road, Amokohia, Egbede bypass, named after an elder statesman in the area, Chief Emmanuel Onyau, as well as the newly constructed state-of-the-art Executive Council chambers. The president described the execution of the projects within 1 year as not only impressive, but a worthwhile undertaking that places Imo on the path to sustainable future.
And I have seen enough that justifies his integrity. I'm very impressed with what he has done because I have gone through the same problem at the center. Infrastructure is what will enable the people to mind their own businesses. And I assure you that I will try to encourage Imo State within the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Governor Hope Uzodima had told the president that the roads projects in particular were part of the 46 solid ones executed by his administration for enhanced economic development as well as standard of living of the people.
We are still doing more because we believe that with the right infrastructure, our economic development will be hastened and life will be much better for our people. Our aim is to build a mini Nigeria in Imo State, where everyone will have sense of not only belonging, but unfettered accommodation.
The governor used the opportunity to express formal appreciation of the people to the president for swiftly bringing to an end what he called the politically contrived security breaches in the state.
I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart on behalf of the government and people of Imo State for believing in Imo State and her leadership. We remain sincere in our endeavors to satisfy the yearnings of our people within available resources.
The commitment of the government and people of Imo State to peace and national unity, Governor Uzodimma emphasized, is irrevocable. From Owerri, Imo State, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Still in Imo, a security-challenged and destabilized Nigeria will not be handed over to the next administration. President Muhammadu Buhari, who gave this commitment at a town hall meeting with Southeast leaders in Owerri, Imo State, also promised to bequeath a more united, corrupt-free and diversified revenue-generating economy. Again, State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports.
The town hall meeting, attended by political and religious leaders from the southeast, traditional rulers, as well as officials of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, was convened to discuss critical national issues as they affect the region and chart the best way forward in the greater interests of the country.
It is important at this juncture for us to reiterate our collective stand that we believe in the unity of Nigeria. We are everywhere making our contributions to the economic advancement of Nigeria. It is really inconceivable to imagine that we should support the breakup of Nigeria, not now, not tomorrow, never.
Mr. President, the leadership of Nigeria must have faith and hope that no secessionist elements can succeed in Nigeria, provided there is good governance based on equity, justice, and fairness to all.
Both the governor and the President General of Ohanaeze Ndigbo appreciated the president for improved sense of belonging to the people and federal presence in the region.
Your Excellency, we see today a new dawn in your distinguished presence in Igbo land and believe that on your return to Abuja, the significance and substance of this visit will form a new foundation of a platform for meaningful dialogue on critical issues of concern to Ndigbo.
We also want to use this auspicious occasion to assure Mr. President of the continued support of the Southeast to your administration. You can always count on us because you have shown us that you are not insensitive to the yearnings of our people.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who described as overwhelming the reception accorded him, promised not to leave anything to chance in effectively securing Nigeria for sustainable growth and development.
The biggest disappointment is now the Northwest and North Central. People without ethnicity, without religious thing, are killing each other and stealing each other's property. And I would like to be remembered as a person who stabilized this country. If there is no security, there is nothing anybody can do, no matter how much he tries or how much initiative he has. Security is number one thing, and we'll try and do that.
The president also promised to sustain efforts at addressing the nation's infrastructure deficit, diversifying the economy, and fighting corruption.
I will make sure, if I know within the system, I will stop corruption. I thank God that I try to keep myself as clean as possible. People will watch and allow you to make one or two mistakes, and then they will make 1,000 mistakes. I will do my best to make sure that Nigerians that try hard succeed in their efforts.
President Buhari described as unthinkable that some Igbos can contemplate secession from Nigeria, saying everyone will be better off if the nation remains united.
We are going to do the roads, we are going to do the rails, and we are going to stabilize power so that we can realize our potentialities. And as a group, I'm telling you this, the Igbos stand to benefit more than anybody because they are more enterprising.
The event was rounded off with photo opportunities and presentation of gift items to the president in appreciation of his visit and commitment to Nigeria, especially the Southeast. From Owerri, Imo State, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Since assumption of office, President Muhammadu Buhari has inaugurated several multi-billion naira infrastructural projects in various parts of the country. While some of these projects are cited in the Southeast, Elizabeth Omori reports that some have already been completed and others are ongoing.
The federal government, under his leadership, has carried out many projects and policies. In 2019, the runway of the Akano Ibiam International Airport, Enugu, was reconstructed with a 10 billion naira special intervention fund. The 200 billion naira second Niger bridge, comprising the main bridge across the river Niger and 10 kilometers of a 6-lane expressway in Onitsha and Asaba, is taking shape every day ahead of the scheduled 2022 dates. Earlier in the year, there was a groundbreaking for the reconstruction of Port Harcourt-Maiduguri rail line linking the southeastern states. This is in addition to the planned new seaport in Bonny. In the education sector, one of the first EEP projects to be completed and launched was the 2.8 megawatts solar power plant at Alex Ekweme Federal University in Ebonyi State to promote clean and reliable energy among Nigerians. President Buhari also approved the establishment of the new College of Education in Usu, Ebonyi State, a new Federal Polytechnic in Ohodu, Enugu State, and a new Federal Science and Technical College in Amuzu, Ebonyi State. The Ariara Market, Aba, IPP supplying electricity to 4,000 shops in the market was also completed. A new 120 MVA 132/330 kV substation in Oka that will deliver additional 70 megawatts of electricity capacity to Anambra State was also completed. Also installed are circuit breakers, transformers, and feeders at transmission stations in Abakaliki, Enugu, and Onitsha. Installation of a new power transformer in the Aloji transmission substation has increased the station's installed capacity from 450 MVA to 750 MVA and making it the biggest substation in southern Nigeria. Construction of ongoing 2x60 MVA substation in Amasiri and a 150 MVA 330/132 VA substation in Abakaliki, both in Ebonyi State, is ongoing, as well as the construction of a 2x60 MVA transmission substation in Ogbunike Ogidi communities of Anambra State. A 5.5 medical diagnostics center has been completed and operational in Umuahia. An approval has also been given for the construction of a new Air Force base in Owerri, a naval base in Imo in Abuja. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
To speak more on the president's visit to Imo State and its likely impacts is APC chieftain Mazi Peter Okorafor, who joins me from our studio in Jos, Plateau State. Welcome to Network News.
Good evening. My pleasure.
Okay, now let's begin. The president's visit has been perceived differently in different quarters. What's your perception of this visit to Imo, and how is it likely to impact on APC's chances in the entire Southeast?
I must first of all appreciate Mr. President. Few weeks back or few months back, there's been an avid tension in the East, which threatened the existence of most of the Igbos across the country because of the agitations of the separatists. For other reasons, his visits have demonstrated his fatherly disposition. In the midst of the wrangling and the strife, he took upon himself like a father and came down in the midst of the people that are tensed up, feeling hot or feeling marginalized, to extend an olive branch for peace, unity, and togetherness. It's a great landmark move, a great landmark effort, I mean, the average Igbo man is a very enterprising, accommodating, curious fellow. They will obviously think over both those that are for and against the agitations. They will think for the implication of this man extending his hand of fellowship to them. I mean, it takes two to tango. If we do not agree together, we cannot move together. We cannot upset an entire socioeconomic system because of administrative lapses. It's always in every government, any government of the world. You will always see administrative lapses. But you don't bring down the system. So, Mr. President's visit will go a long way to reassure the doubting Thomases and those that are sitting on the fences. Because I know that most of the Igbo elites believes in the corporate existence of this country, Nigeria. They do. And I think, too, that those people who feel not being carried along for economic reasons or whatever will begin to get symptoms of hope from the reassurance of the president. I mean, he has made the first move. Obviously, it behoves on us as a people, particularly youths in the area, to extend that hand and see how far you can go. If a man does something good for you, if you appreciate and encourage him, he will do more. I was quite impressed with the rolling out of the Mr. President projects in the East, which most times is not in the news.
These are obviously troubling times for us as a people, with simmering cultural disaffection and tension between ethnic communities. Apparently, this isn't the president's first visit to the region, and I do not think it will be the last. Do you think more of such visits to commission not just state projects, but federal ones as well, would help calm frayed nerves and reassure the Southeast that the president actually cares for the region?
Because when you bother or you review the issue of agitation, it borders on infrastructural improvement and empowerment, basic keystones. And if you are taking steps to initiate those things and bring it to the fore of your knowledge, then you must know that the man can go extra and appreciate him for that. Because there is an Igbo adage that says, if you thank a man for what he has done, he will do more for you. He has done. But unfortunately, most of these projects and activities are not drummed up in the news. The empowerment program, about 68,000 Southeast youths have benefited from the social investment program in the 5 hubs. Are they not Southeasterners? They have gained from appointments in the APC government of Mohamed Buhari from the 5 states in different levels of management. Most of those things they are saying on the TV, I personally have plied the roads.
All right, Mazi Okorafor, just before I let you go, as a Southerner and one from the Southeast precisely, what federal projects would you mention in particular fascinates you the most and gives hope of better times for the region?
Principally the power projects and the road projects, because these are the bedrocks of economic improvement. Good roads and power. Without power, you cannot go into production. Manufacturing industries will not exist. Without road, you can't convey goods, whether agricultural or produce or manufactured goods. So Mr. President's effort or the APC effort in the areas of power and the areas of road infrastructure is going to create a lasting impact in the economic development of the Southeast.
Thank you so much, Mazi Peter Okorafor, for your time. All right, now time for a break. Do stay with us.
I need help! So please go to the market and get me everything I need to cook this food. Get my pepper and get my onions. I'm waiting. Do you know how to buy pepper? Do you know how to buy dashi? You wouldn't even let my mother come and stay. I need help! You don't know how stressful it is taking care of these 3 kids. Are you still there? If you're not getting me fresh meat, do you understand?
Okay, I'm at the
Can you
meat.
switch to video call, please? Okay, give me that one. The one by your side.
Hey, please.
Where do
buy all these things now? Hey, go get Glow Berekete and call madam.
The heavyweight voice and data plan. Get 600 naira free credit plus 700% bonus on every recharge and up to 100% bonus on data plans.
The federal government has commenced second phase of COVID-19 vaccination. If you are 18 years and above and unvaccinated, register at www.nphcda.vaccination.gov.ng. Visit the nearest vaccination site to receive AstraZeneca or Moderna COVID-19 vaccine as first dose. If you received your first dose of AstraZeneca vaccine before 8th July, get your second dose now. All COVID-19 vaccines are free and certified safe. At the vaccination site, you can check blood pressure and know your diabetes risk status. Children aged 0 to 23 months will receive childhood vaccines and screened for malnutrition. After vaccination, continue to adhere to COVID-19 prevention protocols. For more information, visit www.nphcda.gov.ng or call 0700-220-1122. This message is from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency.
Today, gone tomorrow. Cause you volatile like the water. And you promise what you don't know. Sometimes it's right and then it's so wrong. Them go do like say them why. We promise you the world. My brother all now worship. I see no feel water, like you feel letter.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
With star 966 hash easy banking, you can open a Zenith Bank account, purchase airtime and data, make transfers to any bank in Nigeria, pay bills and make POS payments, create a wallet account, and perform other self-service options like PIN and password reset and temporary blockage of your account. Star 966 hash is fast, easy, and convenient. And more importantly, it can be used on any phone type as it requires no data. Dial star 966 hash to get started now. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
We are StarTimes, the most affordable digital pay TV platform with the widest signal coverage in Nigeria, dedicated to bringing the best TV entertainment around the world to your screen. From Hollywood to Bollywood to Nollywood, we offer the most affordable subscription. Enjoy over 75 channels for as low as 1,700 naira, like Nat Geo Wild, BBC, ESPN, and premium sport like Emirates FA Cup, La Liga, Bundesliga, wrestling. What's more exciting? We have the most flexible payment options in Nigeria. Don't dull. Join us now for an exciting journey. StarTimes. Enjoy digital life.
Sitting on the wrong end of the table, Arsenal welcome fellow strugglers Norwich City to the Emirates. Will the Gunners finally get their first Premier League points or goal? This Saturday, it's Arsenal versus Norwich City on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 2:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu and powered by Integral.
Thank you for staying. Vice President Imo State says the Economic Community of West African States, Ecowas, must take proactive steps to prevent coup d'etat in the SAP region and on the continent, as unconstitutional seizure of power is unacceptable in the 21st century. Professor Shibajo stated this while representing President Muhammadu Buhari at a virtual extraordinary session of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS member states and representatives of the United Nations on political developments in the two West African states of Guinea and Mali. The meeting comes after Ghanaian President Alpha Conde was ousted by a coup d'etat on September 5th. Vice President Oshibajo expressed Nigeria's condemnation of the coup and proposed the suspension by the UN, AU, Commonwealth and possibly extend such measure to development finance institutions in Guinea as well as any other country where a coup occurs. Calling on the military junta to ensure the safe release of President Alpha Conde, Professor Shibajo commended former President Goodluck Jonathan and other mediators who worked assiduously to ensure that the Malian transitional government strictly respects the electoral timetable unveiled on 15th April 2021. Ecowas Chairman President Nana Akufo-Addo of Ghana says the military uprising in Guinea that toppled the government of President Alpha Conde is regrettable and unfortunate. The Ecowas chairman stated this while opening an emergency virtual summit of the heads of state and government of Ecowas on the political crisis in Guinea. The virtual emergency meeting, among other things, discussed the plan in place to return Guinea to constitutional rule. President Akufo-Addo commended his colleagues for the swift response to the meeting without hesitation, which he notes is a testament of the strength and commitment of the goals of ECOWAS.
The leadership of ECOWAS response is the surest testimony of the strength and the commitment that all of us have to the goals of our regional organization.
Back home, the federal government says it will pursue the National Livestock Transformation Program vigorously with a view to addressing the social and economic challenges associated with livestock breeding in the country. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohammed Mahmoud, says the conflict arising from transhumans activities remains a threat to national food security and the country's unity. Musa Baba Aliyu reports.
The federal government is implementing 4 major policies focusing on improving the nation's food production agenda. These policies are that of farming input, mechanization, extension services, as well as that of livestock development. For the newly appointed Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Mohammed Abubakar Mahmoud, the livestock transformation policy will be given priority.
The livestock transformation plan will be a priority due to its implication not just on food security and nutrition, but its overall impact in curbing insecurity in the country. In addition, research and extension services will be strengthened to ensure that best practices are translated into concrete deliverables.
The ministry is developing a plan that will ensure that locally produced foods remain the first choice for Nigerians at affordable rates. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has deployed more effective and sophisticated means to uncover dubious strategies adopted by drug offenders to traffic hard and illicit substances. Chairman of the agency, Buba Mora, gave the assurance while speaking at a media parley in Lagos, where he gave an update on the seizure of Aftermain, also known as Skeptagon, which were intercepted at the Apapa port in Lagos. Abolade Salami reports.
The spate of illicit drug abuse and trafficking in a long time has been on the increase, with its negative effect on abusers and national security. While the NDLE is intensifying efforts at curtailing the menace, illicit drug users are yet to pay attention to sensitization and series of enlightenment workshops organized to educate abusers on dangers associated with drug abuse. Recently, the agency, in its proactive approach, beamed its searchlight on a container laden with 451,807 tablets of drugs suspected to be amphetamine, Captagon, weighing 74.119 kilograms, concealed in a rotor coil worth 5.8 billion naira.
And you can imagine the havoc that this would cause had this passed through to the recipients in Nigeria. I think the message must be clear now that the NDLEA has zero tolerance for the production of drugs, trafficking of it, and of course drug abuse.
Further investigation conducted on the hard drug revealed that this is the first time this drug is being brought into any African country in the south of the Sahara. The agency says Captagon, a dangerous drug, He's been abused by offenders in troubled Middle East and has wreaked havoc across Europe. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, is taking additional steps to ensure the safety of air travelers, particularly in the event of an emergency. Stakeholders in the sector are conducting a series of aeronautical search and rescue meetings in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, on that mandate. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
Aeronautical Search and Rescue Stakeholders Meeting is an integrated effort that brings together stakeholders to evaluate the available capacities and resources needed for effective emergency rescue operation in the event of any air mishap. Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, being the lead agency in the nation's aeronautical search and rescue operation, is spearheading this engagement.
The main essence of this stakeholder meeting is to evaluate all functional elements.
Our coming together also was to enable us to have a discussion that will lead to a robust search and rescue exercise within this environment.
Stakeholders at the meeting highlighted their areas of strength, challenges, and thinking on modalities that will bring about efficiency in the search and rescue operation.
We have a lot of agencies that are responsible for safety and rescue when it comes to aeronautica, that is aircraft. So that's why we have to call people that are within or outside the airport that have the resources.
So there is need for training and retraining.
Participants were equally enjoined to always engage in periodic check on their systems and also put in place an emergency standing response committee that will quickly deploy available resources to respond to emergency calls at the slightest notice. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Time to take a trip to Lagos, where Higino will guide us. Higino, it's over to you.
Thank you, Ianre. After several years of waiting, relief is finally coming the way of residents and motorists along Sangota-Idiroko axis as the federal government announces plans to reconstruct the road. Federal Controller of Works in Ogun State, Umar Bakari, disclosed this during an inspection of ongoing reconstruction of sections of Lagos-Sango-Abeokuta Expressway. Adeni Itayo completes the report.
Different locations, but similar experience for residents and motorists along Sango-Ota-Idiroko Road, as well as Lagos-Sango-Abeokuta Expressway. An end to their long years of enduring traffic gridlock as a result of failed portions is, however, in sight, as the federal government, through the Ministry of Works, is putting finishing touches to plan for total reconstruction of the 64-kilometer stretch of Sango-Ota-Idiroko International Corridor.
Complete reconstruction is due. I can assure you that the documentation is ongoing under the tax credit scheme.
The palliative work involves desilting all the drainages, putting hardcore where we have maybe gully within the road, then the stone base, and probably we will put 50 mm asphalt on top.
Meanwhile, reconstruction work is ongoing on sections 1 and 2 of the Lagos-Sango-Abeokuta Expressway. The Sukuk-funded project started in November 2020 and already 4 kilometers out of the 18.65 kilometer section 1 inbound Lagos between Zik bus stop and Sangota has been completed.
The entire stretch Lagos-Ota-Abeokuta will be delivered before the end of 2022 because it's the same contractor. We only have 2 sections. So we have a gang working along Ota-Abeokuta, then another gang working from Zik down to Ota.
To accommodate heavy volume of traffic and overflow of water caused by indiscriminate dumping of refuse in built channels, sections of the road around Sango-Ota underbridge is also expected to be redesigned with wider drainage and rigid pavement. In Lagos, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
Another feather has been added to the cap of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, for upholding the code of professionalism in its news reportage, programming, and vision of projecting true African perspective to its heterogeneous audience. Abolade Salami was at the Awards of Excellence ceremony and now reports.
It's no gainsaying that Africa's largest television network, the NTA, occupies the front seats in news dissemination with facts and figures. As a television broadcast station that prioritizes rich content in all of its programming, the NTA over time has remained the main source of news channel for millions of Nigerians. The reputation of the organization, both home and abroad, has earned it several awards, commendations, and point of reference.
As you can see, the title of the award is to do with promoting excellence in Nigeria. NTA is known for that, and that's why we are getting this award for the DG. And that goes to show how NTA is supporting every effort any Nigerian or any Nigerian company is doing towards promoting what is Nigeria and its development.
While other individuals were recognized for their contribution to societal development and ambassadors of peace, the need for all to inculcate morals and values in whatever they do as patriotic Nigerians was emphasized.
The leaders who want to write their names into history, and so we create monuments, we create institutions that will stand in their names and for which posterity we remember them.
Leaders at all strata were urged to be advocates of change. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. It's now time for another break. The news will be back shortly.
Hey guys, making music for you is so easy for me to do. But you know what else is super easy to do? Linking your NIN to your Glow line by dialing *109*NIN hash. Or I can call 109 from my Glow line and follow the instructions. And if I don't want to call, I can text my NIN to 109. I can even visit glowworld.com/NIN. And what if you've forgotten your NIN? All you have to do is dial *346# and Glow will help you remember it. Someone may ask, what if I haven't registered? All you have to do is go into the nearest Glow World and we'll help you register. It's that easy. So don't get disconnected from all of the amazing voice and data offers from Glow. Linking your NIN to your Glow lines is simple, safe, and 100% free with zero hassles.
The ancient Kano Emirate witnessed his arrival on the 9th of September. He was nurtured and groomed to become a seasoned Islamic scholar. The Western education that he obtained prepared him for leadership responsibilities. Through his act of philanthropy, he has touched countless number of lives. He has made indelible contributions to the development of the transportation sector in Nigeria. Today, Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria, RTEAN, celebrates the birth of our visionary leader and Executive National President, Alhaji Dr. Musa Mohammed Meitakobi One. Mr. President, we are proud to associate with you, an achiever, the jinx breaker. Congratulations, sir.
Powered by RTEA National Executive Council.
We don't like to eat better, more nutritious meals, more veggies, but we want it tasty and easy too. Knorr Cubes, that's the secret. Made with real ingredients like chicken, parsley, and garlic, and enriched with iron, so your meals are better for you and more delicious too. That's the cocoa. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
Not all washing powders are the same. Sunlight adds bursts of freshness to cleaning power to give you Sunlight 2-in-1 for sensational cleaning and freshness that lasts. Sunlight 2-in-1, sensational cleaning with burst after burst of freshness. Introducing Sunlight with luxurious oud fragrance.
Sitting on the wrong end of the table, Arsenal welcome fellow strugglers Norwich City to the Emirates. Will the Gunners finally get their first Premier League point or goal? This Saturday, it's Arsenal versus Norwich City on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 2:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu and powered by Integral.
Glad to have you back. The Nigerian Exchange Group says it's poised to capitalize on the opportunities available through demutualization to grow after recording an operating surplus of 1.84 billion naira for the year 2020. This was the fallout of the group's annual general meeting in Abuja. Musa Abubakar reports.
For the first time in 6 decades, the Nigerian Exchange Group is holding a meeting outside Lagos.
The third item on the agenda.
This is the 60th annual general meeting of the group and the first after demutualization. While 2020 is a year that business were badly hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, the Nigerian Exchange Group was resilient and managed to stay afloat. The year under review saw market services business income increase by 350.20 million naira from 308.77 million naira in 2019, representing 13.42%. The group's net asset also increased by 10.03% to 31.28 billion naira from 28.43 billion naira in 2019.
The resolutions that you have witnessed today is a testament of our shared ambition as a group to continue to deliver value and to our stakeholders in our quest to be Africa's leading integrated market infrastructure provider.
Shareholders can expect an agile institution that is positioning itself to be the preferred exchange hub, offering products and services across the entire value chain.
For shareholders, the group closed the year with a sound liquidity and strong balance sheet position as they look to a more promising future. In Abuja, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
And in education, the enrollment of pupils across the country under the homegrown school feeding program is increasing by the day, with a significant reduction in the number of out-of-school children. Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Bashir Noura Akali, disclosed this while handing over utensils to the Kano State government at Kwali Primary School, Kano Municipal Area. Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
The National Homegrown School Feeding Program was conceived 5 years ago to provide one free nutritious meal to pupils in primary 1 to 3. Since then, 34 states and the FCT are benefiting from the program, which seeks to address poverty reduction, increase school enrollment, and providing job creation. More than 9 million pupils are receiving meals across the country, and Kano taking the largest share with 1,225,804 pupils.
On behalf of College Special Primary School, we feel special thanks to the head of state and of Kano State government.
Is one of the important things, and is the important thing that used to bring the pupils to school. Even the enrollment now is high because of the feeding.
While handing over the feeding utensils to Kano State government for onward distribution to benefiting schools, Permanent Secretary Noura Ali says the federal government will continue to strengthen in the implementation of the program to achieve success.
This intervention today, Your Excellency, is only one out of several plans of our ministry that seeks to ensure that the target pupils have the best experience of hygiene. We have improved the system, we have strengthened the system. We now have more than 12,000 vendors from the 9,000 vendors we inherited in the system.
3,996 primary schools across 44 local government areas of Kano State are expected to benefit from the feeding utensils. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Now, talking security, troops of Operation Hadin K have arrested a high-profile Boko Haram member on the Interagency Security Wanted list during a raid on terrorist hideouts in parts of the northeast. A statement by the Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, indicates that troops of Sector 2, Operation Hadin K, arrested the wanted terrorist Yawi Mudu along Damboa-Wajuruku Road in Borno State. Similarly, troops raided the terrorist improvised explosive device materials hub in Damboa and Gashua local government areas of Borno and Yobe states, respectively. Brigadier Onyema notes that troops also successfully busted and arrested an urea fertilizer syndicate known for supplying terrorists with IED materials in a market believed to be the notorious hub for IED materials for Boko Haram terrorists and ISWAP members. The Katsina Area Command of the Nigeria Customs Service says it has commenced investigation into the alleged shooting of the convoy of the State Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs by its personnel. The acting controller of the command, Daha Wada Chedi, made this known while addressing newsmen on their achievements in the war against smuggling. Shehu Adamu reports.
The alleged shooting on the convoy of the Katsina State Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs by the personnel of the Katsina Area Command of the Nigeria Customs Service occurred along the Ora to Katsina Highway when the officers attempted to stop the convoy for routine search and the drivers defied the order. The officers were said to have taken the action following a tip-off that two Toyota Hilux vans escaped into the country through an illegal route. Although no life was lost and injury not sustained, however, the action controller Al-Hawada Chedi explained that the command has instituted full-scale investigation to unravel the circumstances that led to the incident and pledged to punish any officer found wanting.
When hearing about the incident, the committee was already set up, and the committee has already started working, and they are seriously doing their best to get to the bottom of the whole thing.
Meanwhile, the Katsina Customs Command has between the 4th of August and 6th of September this year intercepted smuggled vehicles and other contraband with duty paid value of over 65 million naira, which indicates significant decrease in smuggling activities along Katsina axis. Among the contraband intercepted include 126 bags of 50 and 25 kilograms of foreign rice, 104 jerry cans of vegetable oil, 6 bags of foreign fertilizer, 121 gas cylinders of different kilograms, as well as 12 vehicles smuggled into the country. In Katsina, Shehu Adamu, NTA News.
Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has applauded Nigeria's tenacity for business and development diplomacy, also commending the country's foreign missions and representatives for conscientious implementation of the country's foreign policy objectives. He made the comments at a dinner hosted in his honor by the Nigerian ambassador to Guinea-Bissau, who is also overseeing Cape Verde. Anthony Forson reports.
Ambassador John Usanga, who remained on the side of the Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, since the minister arrived in West African Ireland, was with him all through deliberations as the meeting lasted. The ambassador, in a show of hospitality, John Usanga, hosted Lai Mohammed and his delegation to a dinner with certain words in a show of pride to be a Nigerian.
Because what I witnessed in South, your contributions to these discussions, the majority, the intelligence, the brilliance displayed made me to be very proud as a Nigerian. It was more like everything revolved around you. Everybody was looking up to you, and whatever you said was carried, and that made me very proud. Even in your wisdom, some concessions were made for the benefit of smaller countries, which is what makes me proud as a Nigerian, that regardless of how small a country is, even if it's composed of 5 families, Nigeria will accord it its due respect.
Lai Mohammed said his pride in Nigeria knows no bounds.
To express my excitement with the way you look at your assignment. You are very passionate and you are determined to to let Cape Verdeans and Guinea-Bissau people see largely the positive side of Nigeria. And I think that is the right way to go about it. There are no countries without challenges, especially when you have a country as big as Nigeria. And this is what we've been doing. But I must say that we've had a very successful, an extremely successful conference, not just because of our presentation, but because some Nigerians have gone ahead of us to make our job even much easier.
Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Now talking politics, the Director General of the All Progressives Congress Governors Forum, Salihu Mohammed Lukman, says Nigerians need to rise above cheap campaigns of ethnic politics, which are now being used to promote hatred in the country. On a statement on Nigeria's democracy and challenges of nation building, Salihu Lukman posits that leaders who inspire national hope should be celebrated in the country, while political parties should take steps to recruit those leaders into politics for national development. The APC Governors Forum Director General says the only way that Nigeria's democracy can facilitate nation building is when political leaders are able to graduate from being champions of small group interest to being torchbearers of common purpose and promoters of strong national bond. The 93rd National Executive Committee meeting of the People's Democratic Party held in Abuja has confirmed the governor of Adamawa State, Amadu Fintiri, as chairman of the party's National Convention Organizing Committee. Correspondent Timothy Yusuf reports that the party's National Convention is scheduled for October 10, 2021.
This National Executive Committee meeting of the People's Democratic Party, which is the 93rd in the series, is to approve the Convention Planning Committee and orders that had been agreed upon for setting up during the last NEC meeting. Consequently, the governor of Adamawa State, Amadu Fintiri, was confirmed as chairman of the party's National Convention Organizing Committee. Governor Doyediri of Bayelsa is the deputy chairman, while his Oyo State counterpart, Sheyi Makinde, is to serve as secretary. Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi was also confirmed as chairman of the National Convention Zoning Committee. NEC also received the Senator David Mark Committee's report on the leadership crisis that rocked the party recently.
Call on all of us to set aside differences and look at the PDP and Nigeria as a nation to be above any personal or collective consideration.
This party is going to remain one.
PDP NEC praised the party members for their steadfastness to democratic principles and the rule of law.
That is eventually what is going to lead us into success.
The party's National Campaign Council for the November 6 governorship election in Anambra State was also inaugurated at the commencement of NEC. Governors on the platform of the People's Democratic Party had earlier converged on Abuja to strategize on putting to rest all challenges confronting the party ahead of its national convention next month.
We discussed how to move the party forward, the unity of the party, bringing all the leaders together, not only working towards a very successful national convention, but even beyond that.
The PDP Governors Forum also promised to accord full support for the party's governorship candidate in Anambra State. Timothy Yusuf.
Time for a quick break. Please stay.
TV was the best decision James has ever made. See, finding a good place to watch football was never easy, but it was costly. Until one day, James discovered something big. He can finally say, our home, our football.
Get GoTV plus 1 month max subscription for only 6,900 naira. You fit enjoy the Ogbonge football leagues where day, plus better cup competitions this football season. GoTV, love it.
Sitting on the wrong end of the table, Arsenal welcome fellow stragglers Norwich City to the Emirates. Will the Gunners finally get their first Premier League point or goal? This Saturday, it's Arsenal versus Norwich City on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 2:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu and powered by Integral.
The remains of late Emmanuel Abiodun, father of Governor Dapo Abiodun, has been laid to rest in Remo, Ogun State. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports that Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and his wife Dolapo were part of guests at the funeral and Thanksgiving service held at the St. James Anglican Church, Remo.
The federal government's delegation, led by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Secretary to Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, and some members of the Executive Council, been welcomed by some members of the Governors Forum, led by its chairman, Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State, to the funeral and Thanksgiving service for late Dr. Emmanuel Abiodun. Describe it as a triumphant exit from the world into heaven, you will not be wrong, as late Dr. Emmanuel Abiodun is said to live a life of giving, investing in the lives of people as a teacher, and investing in heavenly inheritance as a staunch Christian.
Because heaven is a prepared place for prepared people. Nobody goes there by chance.
But we are gathered to celebrate the passing of a rare breed. A man who served his family, who served his community, his nation, and his God. And he served them well.
Governor Dapo Abiodun clinged to his mother, and he says for the 65 years the father and mother were together, every day was a new day, and show of trust and love for each other, the children, and everyone around their world.
That he stood by me and inculcated in me the good values and virtues that characterize you. You're not only very humble and affectionate to mom, but also father, grandfather, a moral compass, and sort of guidance to the whole family. The backing of your Lord can never be failed.
Pa Emmanuel Abiodun died on the 2nd of August this year at the age of 89. In Remo, Ogun State, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And that concludes Network News tonight. Many thanks for watching, and please join NTA in the fight against rape and rapists. I'm Ian Ray John. Good night.